post. Poole. Looks like there's a sub. Rio Garside coming on. Oh, it's chilly now.
Good afternoon and welcome to the second half of Poole Town against Plymouth Parkway. The score is currently 2-0 to the Dolphins and we will be getting underway very, very shortly. George, you want to just sum up very quickly while I've got to do something, your thoughts on the first half so far?
Yeah, fantastic first half. We were just chatting, weren't we, at half time when we were off air, that it's one of the most dominant performances we've had at Tattenham this season, and it's been really good just to see us be clinical, take our chances. And Salim Saeed, of course, with a thunderbolt, arguably the goal of the season so far. And we've had a few contenders, of course. Ryan Campbell with a lethal strike. I remember his sort of side-footed volley that he scored earlier in the season, and Shaquille Guenuay against Weymouth, an unbelievable finish from the edge of the box that curled into the top corner. But yeah, that thunderbolt off the crossbar was quite something. But yeah, Pat and Joe will be really pleased with how resolute we've been. We've moved the ball around really well, and we're in a good place now going into the second half as we kick off, where I'm trying to tweet and do commentary at the same time. It's great fun. Shaquille Guenuay takes the ball under control but loses out as Parkway now look to rebuild from the back. But Shaquille Guenuay does really well to win the ball. Coming towards the edge of the box, dribbles across and puts it to Billy Lowe's, who sets it back to Harvey Slade now, who twists and turns and moves the ball to the left-hand side and sets it to Billy Lowe's, who then sets it to Ryan Campbell on the left-hand side, moving it to IK Hill, who got the assist for the second goal of the game. Shaquille Guenuay's 26th goal of the season, and Salim Saeed unfortunately loses out as Parkway now look to rebuild from the back as they play a good ball through the lines and pops it all the way through to the Poole Town defence, and Ryan Campbell does well to play it back to Adam Parks, who kicks it long. Guenuay gets up for the header but loses out, and it was potentially offside. Yeah, an offside flag on Shaquille Guenuay, who leapt up for the header, lost out to Taylor Scarf, the number 5 for Parkway, and they now move the ball from right to left. Parkway looking to get themselves back into a game that has been difficult, to say the least. Poole piling on the pressure, a real high level of intensity, positivity and bravery. As Guenuay steals the ball from the goalkeeper, but it's well out wide and the keeper gets back into his position. Guenuay now attacking with force, drives down the right side, plays it across, and it's saved by the goalkeeper at the near post and goes out for a corner.
Well, a good start to the second half by the sounds of it. Poole Town still leading by 2 here as it stands, but it could have been a chance there to make it 3 in all honesty. Yeah,
absolutely. But a really good start from the Dolphins, who had such a good first half, and I'm sure Pat and Joe would have said, look, we need to make sure we keep the intensity up in this second half, don't get complacent, because one goal from Parkway and they're back in the game.
Antonio Diaz set to take this corner kick here. Diaz, the ball into the air, dealt with at the front post behind the Parkway backline, back out to IK Hill, plays it on to Diaz now, into the area again. Antonio Diaz looking for Ade, let it run. Here's Chris Campbell. Campbell puts his foot through it, and it goes behind for a corner kick at the start of the second half. Still 2-0 to Poole Town.
Yeah, it's just a shame. Obviously, second half attacking the sort of the clubhouse end. You'd sort of say it's just not quite the same atmosphere. When Poole win a corner in the shed, it's just it's a real buzz of excitement, and as the ball goes out there's just nothing. It's the only thing I think elements-wise that will be lacking second half is that buzz from the stands.
IK Hill set to take this corner, played into the air right under the goalkeeper, who deals with it well. A little bit of a faff at it, but Poole keep the attack alive here. IK Hill again, looking to take on his man. Hill into the air, really good ball in there, headed out to the edge. Diaz looking to keep it alive, falls to Chris Campbell, who's got a lot to do right on the edge of the area. Onto Ade in an unfamiliar attacking position. Forced backwards to Salim Saeed, and Poole go all the way back to Ryan Campbell on the halfway line. Now all the way back to Adam Parks in between the sticks, who's looking for his 11th clean sheet of the season. If we can hold on today. Here's Harvey Slade driving forward, back to IK Hill. And we reset and we'll look to go again. Poole still leading by 2 if you are just joining us here. I've been brought a very sweet coffee by our fantastic secretary, Lisa. We can share it if you want, George.
Oh, that's all right, mate. I can't do caffeine after 1 p.m. I'll be up all night.
Good defending by Chris Campbell on the far side. Garside looking to get the better of the man.
Good ball.
That is Rio Garside, who came on at half-time alongside his brother Carlo. IK Hill trying to get the better of that opposite Garside brother, rather. Back inside. Diaz looking to skip round his man.
Brilliant.
Good defending on that far side. Still 2-0 to Poole, but similar story to the first half so far, would you say?
Yeah, we look lively. Intensity's still there. We're still trying to play with the ball as if it's 0-0 or if we're losing, and Diaz now gets the ball really nicely.
Here's Slim Side down that right flank, weighing up his options. Dolphins leading by 2. Slim Side did open scoring and Guenuay made it 2.
Brilliant.
Lowe's. Slade onto Ryan Campbell. We're knocking the ball about really nicely so far. Here's Ryan Campbell. Ball in behind. Almost fell to Antonio. Diaz in there. Parkway eventually clearing it long. Ade Olumwiya looking to get in front of his man. Brett brings it under. And Parkway can launch their first attack of the second half here. An attendance of 718 today at Tatnam. Nice work down the right flank here by the Parkway man. Really good defending by Ryan Campbell there, and that is going to be a Plymouth Parkway free. Was a hint maybe of a foul in there, would you say?
He got the ball. Got the ball, Connor. No, the Parkway manager's not happy, but it's good, really good crowd though, Connor. 718 on a freezing day. Obviously Bournemouth are at home at 5:30, but you know it's hard to obviously make both games. But also, like Parkway, obviously come in from a long way. They've brought a few people today, but it's good to see such a good turnout for Poole. Mainly Poole fans here today.
Ryan Campbell heads it forward. Guenuay, really nice touch from him. Nice footwork too. Shaquille Guenuay looking to launch it forward. IK Hill trying to bring it under and continuing to press. That will be a Plymouth Parkway throw-in. I don't think he could have moved his hand out the way of that one, in fairness.
Well, I think they're trying to get what they can, aren't they, Parkway?
His hand was high, but he was also a yard away from IK Hill. So
Natural body position, Connor.
I think you need to tell the
I'll tell him.
manager.
I'll just tell him very quietly.
Here is Taylor Scarf. Still 2-0 to the Dolphins if you are just joining us on our live commentary. Today's commentary is once again sponsored by Linkholm's Estate Agents. IK battling away in the middle of the park. He's having a fantastic game so far on his return to the starting 11. Good ball out to that left flank, and here is the number 12 now, James Endicott. Ball round the corner into Brett. Set back inside to Garside. There's Carlo Garside, who did start today's game. His brother Rio is now onto the pitch. Brett round the corner. Callum Hall lets it go. Out wide to Endicott. Ball into the area. Billy Lowe's is there first, and Plymouth Parkway do well to hold on to the ball on the far side. Don't know why Diaz was complaining for an offside there. It was definitely Billy Lowe's who got rid. Garside just about getting away with it in the middle of the park. Slim Side and Shaquille Guenuay continuing to press, and it falls to Ryan Campbell. And now IK Hill look to launch an attack, and he's driving at that Parkway backline once again. He skipped round his man. Brilliant. That's a dangerous challenge there. IK Hill's evaded it though. Still Hill into the area now, driving at that defence once again. IK Hill onto his right foot, shoots goalwards. It's brilliant from IK Hill. He makes it free. Magical work down the left flank from IK Hill. He evaded one challenge, stayed on his feet, went inside the area and finished it into the bottom corner. Poole Town 3, Plymouth Parkway 0. What a game IK Hill is having so far.
I'm almost in disbelief there. I didn't even quite register that it was a goal when it went in, because there was to be fair, bodies right in the way of me, but it just seemed all too simple for IK. You know, did so well down that left-hand side. You know, puts the ball forward, just knocks it on, sprints after it. Defender makes a poor challenge. Luckily, IK carries on, doesn't get too much impact from it, and then just drives into the box, cuts inside, bang, simple as that at the near post.
And IK Hill's goal graphic is now up on the big screen. Him eating a ton of biscuits, which is a fantastic sight to see. Poole Town 3, Plymouth Parkway 0, as George is looking to get that tweet ready.
Oh yeah, no, I think he's taking the biscuit? Is that what he's trying to go at here? It looks like it. Fair play. I'm absolutely buzzing for IK. I think Pat Sarachi found that quite entertaining, the graphic.
Well, 3-0. What a performance it has been so far from the Dolphins. A complete display. IK Hill, arguably the best player on the pitch so far today, on his return to the starting 11. Here's Adam Parks now. Plays it short to Owen Dorr. Out to Ryan Campbell. Owen Dorr again. It's a slim side, right on the edge of his own area here. Does need to be careful with the ball back there, but composed defending, really poor ball.
No.
Into Ade though, and Parks has come off his line and deals with it really well. Slim side just maybe needed to be a little bit careful there, because Ade, well, he's asking quite a lot from Ade with that ball. Adam Parks with the ball in his hands now, launching it forward, looking for Chris Campbell, who's leaped up in the air. Harvey Slade brings this one under. Poole Town fans in fine voice behind the goal over there, which is always fantastic to see. Slade. Back to Ade. This might be an opportunity for young Scott Rolls to get some minutes on the pitch today, potentially. Ball down the right-hand side. Here's Chris Campbell now. Nice footwork from him, and it goes out for a Poole Town throw-in on that far side over there.
Now, that would be brilliant, wouldn't it? That would be the cherry on the cake, Connor, you know, to have a real commanding performance and victory, but also to get Scott Rolls some minutes.
Here's Guenuay now inside the area again. Good defending by Plymouth Parkway. And if we could get a fourth today before the hour mark, it really would be the cherry on top. Antonio Diaz with a corner kick here. Just looking at our bench to see if we are lining up any substitutes. Not as of yet. You can see George has just sent out the tweet for IK's goal.
That is out.
Antonio Diaz standing over this corner kick here.
Even got the gif on it.
Diaz with the ball into the area. Really good ball. Ade with the header. And Ade Olawuya scores for Poole Town on his return back to the club. And it's 4-0 to the Dolphins here against Plymouth Parkway. And we're certainly looking for blood at the moment out there. Poole Town 4, Plymouth Parkway 0. What a performance this has been.
And I'm delighted for Ade. You know, the towering defender. He's at point blank range and just nods it down. Good technique and nothing the keeper can do. It's absolutely gone past him before he can even blink. So incredible stuff from Ade to be so physical and to just make it absolutely his. There was no way anyone was stopping him there.
I'm absolutely buzzing for Ade. His return to Poole Town, only his second start since coming back to the Dolphins. He was obviously with us a few seasons ago and then returned to the club last season when the club was in a completely different state. And now this season, with the Dolphins flying and Ade flying through the air to give us our fourth so far today against Plymouth Parkway. Well, I was just wondering now how many goals we can actually score in this game. As it goes back to Isaac Finch, and the game is now back underway. Poole Town 4, Plymouth Parkway 0 here as it stands.
Well, it's going to be a bit of a feeling of deja vu, isn't it, for Parkway after their 4-0 loss against Farnham not too long ago. And now, with plenty of time on the clock, still over half an hour plus added time, it's a pretty miserable scoreline for Parkway.
Set back by Reese Shanley. I don't know if that's Shanley or Stanley on the team sheet, but they're number 3. Here's Isaac Finch now, playing it short. Unfortunately, we don't have an Ade goal gif, which is quite sad, because it would have been good to get it on there.
Fair enough.
Ball launched forward. Owen Dorr challenging it up in the air and does really well to win it back. Guenuay is getting back from an offside position. Slim side almost jumping in front of his man there. Gar side with a good ball down the left flank, but Chris Campbell's there first and almost got the better of his man. Parkway looking to keep the attack alive. Ade, who did just score our fourth if you are just joining us here. 57 minutes play. Poole Town 4, Parkway 0. Although the visitors coming forward with the ball into the area here. Really good ball in there, dealt with by Ryan Campbell. They're lining up at the back stick. They're not letting this game die just yet. Good ball out to the number 11 here. Watts Barciella, it's a good ball inside. Really nice football from Parkway, but unable to find anyone on the edge of the box. Really good defending from the ref there, to be fair. Stopping Poole's attack.
Parkway got 12 men, it looks like. Great defending from the ref there.
Saeed looking to drive forward. Ryan Brett getting back in it as man and doing well to win it back to. I don't actually have a 5-0 graphic ready for the big screen, so I might have to get that prepared just in case.
Let's hope so.
Well, I think now it's just about Parkway just trying to stay in this game and make sure it doesn't get too embarrassing out there, because Poole Town will no doubt be looking for a fifth in this game. This is obviously helping our goal difference too in a time when we probably need to up our goal difference as much as possible. Parkway coming forward down the left flank, get the ball into the air. Ryan Campbell is there first, out to the edge.
It's a great
Hill
header.
flicks it clear. Garside looking to keep the attack alive. Here's Brett now. Good ball into Watts Barciella, taking on Ryan Campbell, and he's a difficult man to get past, as Watts Barciella just found out. Lowe's. Poole Town 4, Parkway 0. 58 minutes played. Guenuay now onto IK Hill, and we're coming forward at pace here. IK waiting for the run of Guenuay. He's found Guenuay in behind. Shaq through on goal here onto his right foot. Oh, it's a brilliant strike and a brilliant save too by Isaac Finch to tip it over the bar. I thought that was Poole Town's fifth then.
Well, you could just hear Antonio Diaz just roaring for the ball on the right-hand side. But, you know, a man in such form, Guenuay was never going to miss an opportunity to get a shot at goal. It's a really good effort going into the top corner, but Finch, fair play to him, he's made a few good saves today. And Diaz, who whipped in the ball for Addy's goal to make it 4-0 to Poole, will now whip in another ball from a corner. And the first few corners of the game from Poole have been really poor, near post, headed away, but that was spot on, wasn't it, for Addy? Let's see if we can get another one.
Diaz to take. Ball whipped into the area again, looking for the back stick. Oh, it's almost gone all the way through. I think it's actually just about stayed in play. Callum Hall can defend it and launch it long. IK Hill is there first to win it back. He is having a superb performance so far, isn't he?
Yeah, IK Hill has been amazing in the attacking stage. But I just got to say, Ryan Campbell just now, about 2 minutes ago, the defending 1v1 was just incredible. It's impeccable. I mean, the way that he accelerates to the Parkway man and then just decelerates, gets into that jockey position and just makes it so hard as the player tries to knock it past and wins the ball brilliantly, turns and retains possession for Poole. Ryan Campbell has been such an incredible signing for us, but there's been too many to mention, Connor. We've made such an amazing situation of our recruitment. As Poole win the ball back really well now with Antonio Diaz skipping through and wins a free kick as the Parkway player trips him. I believe it was Hall, the number 8 for Parkway, who tripped Diaz, who was just trying to weave himself around in the centre of the park and find a pass.
Free kick on the halfway line now, as we have gone over the hour mark here at Tattenham, as it has become rather cold out there at the moment, Josh, hasn't it? It's very bitter.
It is just a tad.
Ade Olumria now. Big thank you to everyone watching us and listening along from home today. We do hope you're enjoying so far. Could be a chance for the visitors here to come forward. Good ball from Callum Hall, and Harvey Slade is there first. Diaz picking it up. It's these sort of games where you're wondering when the likes of Scott Rolls going to get on the pitch today. Parkway with a good ball in behind Ade. There again, I tell you what, George, I know you've just mentioned it, but you're going to have a difficult job picking the man of the match today, I tell you what.
Yeah, well, I can't give it to Billy Lowe's, because if it was 3 times in a row, I think there'd be some major bias going on there. But yeah, there's a few candidates, aren't there, Connor?
Good ball in behind from Plymouth Parkway here. Chris Campbell looking to get involved. Ball eventually played into the air. Really good defending by Owen Dorr. I think he's one of the players that may go unnoticed today, and just how good he's been back there so far. Yeah,
and I mean, he's a player that we desperately need to get a contract out of, don't we, Connor? You know, apparently you were saying earlier, it's our last game of this loan spell with Salisbury. I think his contract is set to expire at Salisbury, and we'll be desperate to try and pen him a deal until at least the end of the season. Parkway have just got the ball on the right-hand side here, and the referee's waited a minute, and then he's made a decision. It looked like Parkway were clean through on the right-hand side there. One of the Garside brothers who just came on at half-time, nicking the ball away, and then almost 2 or 3 seconds later, the referee blew his whistle and decided it was a free kick to Poole. Adam Parks now has the ball at his feet and goes long with one of those low balls. It's a great ball to IK Hill, who picks up now on the left-hand side. Can he beat his man? As the defender tries to defend 1v1, IK Hill strikes from distance, and it's bounced and gone quite nicely into the arms of the goalkeeper, who rolls it out on the left-hand side. But IK Hill, full of confidence on his first start for quite a while. Obviously got the assist for Guenuay for the second goal, and got himself on the score sheet as well, before Addy made it 4 with a powerful header from close range. As Poole now in possession with Owen Dorr, plays it into Harvey Slade, who looks to move the ball into Slim Saeed, playing through the lines, and Saeed nicks the ball across, but scarfed as well to intercept the ball to Guenuay. And now Off go Parkway down the left-hand side. And Chris Campbell does really well to intercept the ball down that left-hand side. And then looks like he's given away a free kick, but the referee doesn't blow. And the referee still hasn't blown up for a free kick. And Poole have the ball now with Diaz.
Set back to Ade. 64 minutes played here. Poole Town 4, Plymouth Parkway 0. This is a sort of performance you'll be looking at from a team at the top of the table, which probably explains why we're third in the Southern League Premier South at the moment. Guenuay still going forward. Garside coming across to deal with it. And it's a hefty challenge over there. I think that is a free kick.
Yeah, it wasn't a great challenge. Didn't get the ball.
I don't think there was any real need to put in a challenge like that. He was probably going nowhere, right over by the corner flag. It's effectively a corner.
Just needed to delay him, didn't he? But he just lunged in clumsily. Gives away the free kick now. And it's a good position. Parkway making a substitute pretty soon now. Looks like they're going to get one of their players off the bench. Obviously, like you said, Connor, there's not really a huge amount now Parkway can hope for out of this game with 4 goals to the home side. Poole Town, of course, dominating and leading, quite rightly, but, you know, maybe a chance for them to give some of the members of the squad a game.
Antonio Diaz standing over this free kick here. Chance to loft it into the area. Does play it low and looking for Harvey Slade. I thought that was destined goalwards then. It was actually good defending by Plymouth Parkway. Billy Lowe's into Slim Side. Good touch from him. Still Saeed. Playing it inside to Slade. Looking back to Slim Side. Good defending by Watts Barciella. Still leading by 4 as it stands. Lowe's back to Ryan Campbell. Here's Owen Dorr now. And the ball on the halfway line. Lowe's back to Harvey Slade, who's got a little bit of space to drive at the defence. Still Slade does shoot, and it's a brilliant
it's a good
save
shot.
once again by Isaac Finch in goal. Diaz. Still Slim Side. He skipped round his man with ease. Saeed back out to the edge. IK Hill again, looking for his second in today's game. Harvey Slade now. Hill trying to force it round the corner. Here is Slim Side. Skips round his man. Side across. Really good ball, and it's just wide of the post. I thought for a second Guenuay was going to dive across the face of goal. Goes behind for a goal kick.
I mean, fair play to Saeed there. Just so positive, so confident, and just gets himself into a good position. Left-footed effort across the face of goal. Didn't know if it was a cross or a shot. Bit of a cross shot, and yeah, no one's there to tuck it in. But the keeper looked completely lost there. And if it had found the back of the net, you wouldn't have been surprised. As Parkway now make a substitution.
It's going to be number 18, Will Sullivan, to come on here. And James Watts Barciella to depart. I mentioned it earlier in today's game, but you almost do feel a little bit sorry for this Parkway side. We know they don't have much money in the budget, probably one of the lowest, if not the lowest, in the division. A lot of their players have been at the club for a number of years, and they do rely on a lot of younger players on loan spells from the likes of Plymouth Argyle, rather. I mean, it's tough to watch from a Plymouth Parkway perspective. I mean, it wasn't long from this time last year when we lost, I think it was 6-1 to Merthyr, wasn't it? So, I mean, maybe potentially a similar sort of position to where we were at, but as it stands, I don't think they're in the relegation spots. They definitely weren't before today's game got underway. I actually do quite like Plymouth Parkway as a club, in all honesty, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, it's so tough, isn't it, nowadays? Like, football's always been a tough old game to navigate in terms of the pyramid, but it gets harder and harder as the money is just coming out of nowhere these days. You look at Farnham and the investment they've had there, and teams are coming up from the leagues and, you know, leapfrogging teams that have been in these divisions for a long time. And, you know, the playing field's completely different now, isn't it? There are just so many clubs getting financial backing, and the standards are getting higher and higher, and some of those teams like Parkway are dropping down as time goes on.
Callum Hall playing it inside to Taylor Scarf. Just keeping the ball on the back as it stands. The visitors. Big thank you to the 50 people watching along with us so far today. If you are just joining us, it is currently Poole Town 4, Plymouth Parkway 0. Scarf set back to Isaac Finch in between the sticks for the visitors, and they've actually played out the press quite nicely there. I think 4-0 is probably a fair reflection of where the game is at so far today. I mean, Plymouth have created a few chances of their own, but it has been mainly all Poole Town, hasn't it, out there so far? Yeah, no, we have dominated the game, and I think the nice thing now for Pat and Joe is that they've got some tough games coming up. Obviously, Hanwell away next Saturday. That's going to be a really tough test against a strong, physical, well-organised team
who are normally sort of around the mid-table spots, but always come across like a team that should be up there. You know, and it'll be good for us knowing that we've got 20 minutes or so now where we don't have to have our foot on the gas quite so much. Guenuay just hitting on the deck there under a bit of a shoulder-to-shoulder interaction, but nothing with any malice in it. And it will be a Poole Town throw on the left-hand side. Guenuay and Salim Saeed just having a little chat as we get some fluids on board. Looks like there is an injury to the Parkway goalkeeper. And the physio comes on the pitch. And yeah, the Poole Town players just having a quick word, probably Pat and Joe giving some praise and just reminding the lads to stay switched on and conserve a bit of energy now. Give you some rundowns of some scores while we wait for this injury to the goalkeeper to be dealt with. So in the Premier League, it was Aston Villa 3, Nottingham Forest 1 earlier today, Brighton 2, Burnley 0, Wolves 3-0 up at West Ham. The Brighton-Burnley game and Wolves-West Ham game still going. Bournemouth-Arsenal, of course, the 5:30 evening kickoff in the Premier League. When it comes to the Southern Premier League, very interesting situation with actually only a couple of games, 3 games in fact, being called off. It's Basingstoke 2, Bracknell 1 at the moment. We've got Gloucester City 0, Evesham 2, a very interesting scoreline for the Dolphins, of course. And also Basingstoke, fair play to them, getting a 2-1 lead at Bracknell at the moment. Havant and Waterlooville 3, Sholing 3. That's another very interesting scoreline for the Dolphins fans listening. Poole Town, of course, 4-0 up at home to Plymouth Parkway. Tiverton 1-0 up against Taunton, another interesting scoreline given their position in the league. Uxbridge 0, Chertsey 1. Walton and Hersham, unsurprisingly, 2-0 up at home to Gosport. Again, that's a good result for the Dolphins in terms of the playoffs, so to speak. And then Weymouth currently 1-1 with Wimborne Town. So all to play for in those Southern Premier South clashes.
Thank you for running through those.
Pleasure, Connor. Pleasure.
A big thank you to you always joining me on commentary as well. It's an absolute privilege to
No, you too, mate. I absolutely love it. Highlight of the week.
Here is Ryan Campbell. The game is now back underway. About 20 minutes to play here at Tatnam. Ryan Campbell looking for Ike Hill. Really good throw and a good touch too. Ike had the chance to play in Diaz there and probably should have done.
Ooh.
Here is almost Guenuay in behind. Good defending by that Plymouth Parkway backline. Good composed defending. Here's number 4, Ryan Brett. Good pressure from Salim Saeed. And Guenuay trying to jump in front. I've got to say, composed defending there from Plymouth Parkway's number 4, but he has given it away.
Got a feel for Diaz. A number of times today, he's made some great runs. He's been screaming for it, and no one seems to be going for him. It's almost like the kid on the playground that just, no matter what he does, just can't get the ball.
No one likes.
Yeah, I think lots of people like Diaz, but but it's just it's reminiscent of that, isn't it? You may be in a good position, but I'm not passing to you.
Callum Hall with the ball into the air. Ryan Campbell there first, just
Brilliant.
to head it back to Parks. I mean, we've seen that a few times so far today. The confidence they have in their goalkeeper, just to head it back to him. Yeah. I was actually talking to Joe a few weeks ago, and he asked me who I thought my player of the season so far was, and I can't actually remember who I said. I'm pretty sure I might have said Ryan Campbell.
Yeah.
But he actually said Adam Parks, which is really interesting to think. A team that scores so many goals and is so far up in the division, you probably wouldn't pick your goalkeeper, but that's what you went with.
But I remember back at the start of the season when we were away at Bracknell, and we didn't know at that point that Bracknell were going to be such a disappointment compared to the hype and the money that was behind the club. And Parks made that save, didn't he? That penalty save in the last minute when we were 4-3 up. And you know, moments like that, I mean, there's probably been a number of them where the goalkeeper has made such a huge impact on the outcome of the game.
Ball into the area, right out to the edge. Here's Callum Hall. Good defending by Ade once again. Parkway still alive. Garside fires over the bar, but it goes behind for a corner kick here, and it looks like we are going to make our first substitution of today's game. I think it is Henry Spalding.
Yeah, another player who obviously has been limited on game time for a number of reasons.
Sorry.
Oh, right, yeah, sure. Just get ready to do another tweet. My hands, if they can function, my fingers are going to be struggling to type.
Still 4-0 to the Dolphins. Corner kick here for Plymouth Parkway. Ball into the air. Harvey Slade heads it away. Parkway can launch the ball back into the area if they do choose to. Back out wide. Eventually the ball comes into the area. Good ball to the front post, but into the hands of Adam Parks. 73 minutes on the clock. Owen Dorr out wide to Ryan Campbell now. Campbell just taking his time with the ball here. Guenuay dropping deep and dispossessed, and Guenuay a little bit of a shove with one of the Parkway players. I don't think there's too much in that, in all honesty. Kitman Dan Wilson looking to put up the board very, very shortly. I think it is going to be Salim Saeed to depart for Henry Spalding. Charlie Davis is set to come onto the field as well. It will be Saeed off and Henry Spalding on. And I think potentially Ryan Campbell is going to come off as well. Maybe shift Chris Campbell to left back and then Charlie Davis over to right back. Ryan Campbell probably deserves a well-earned rest out there. He does play pretty much every minute for Poole Town so far this season, and he's the one that is going to be coming off here. And I think that's probably the right decision to make. Ryan Campbell off with Charlie Davis coming on. And Davis will go over to that right back position. Chris coming into left back. Eventually we'll look to get the game back underway. Chris Campbell launching the throw-in forward. Both sides challenging in the air, and Shaquille Guenuay comes away with the ball. Shifts it to Henry Spalding now. Diaz down that right flank. Slightly delayed ball just behind him. Charlie Davis on the overlap. He's just come on. Here is Charlie Davis in behind. Pulls it across, and it's a good stop by the goalkeeper. And eventually Parkway can clear. And what an impact that would have been if Charlie Davis scored there. Slade back into the area. Headed away again. Out to Billy Lowe's now. IK Hill. Good touch out of his feet. Still IK. Into Henry Spalding. Brings it under. IK. Diaz is making a good run again. IK Hill. Great feet from him. Good block from the Parkway backline. Here's Charlie Davis now. Slade, Charlie Davis. Poole just happy to keep the ball at the moment. Here's Ade now. Ade on Weir trying to play it round the corner. Good defending by Plymouth Parkway, and Diaz jumps in, but the referee maybe felt a little bit sorry for Plymouth Parkway there, awarding a free kick on the halfway line.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one, isn't it, for them? They've got a long old journey home. And, just I think any fans who have travelled up from Parkway, huge credit to them, because it's a freezing cold day, your team's 4-0 down, and you got a good 3 or 4 hour drive home. But yeah, fair play to them for coming out today and supporting their team through thick and thin.
Obviously, need to be careful there. There could be a chance here for Parkway, but Owen Dorr, the first man to it once again, launching it long, looking for Guenuay. It's picked up by IK Hill here. On to Spalding now. Back inside to Charlie Davis, and we go all the way back to Adam Parks. Just under 15 minutes still to play here. Poole Town leading by 4 as it stands. Harvey Slade. Slade over the top, looking for the run of Shaquille Guenuay. He's onside here, and through on goal. Shaquille Guenuay one-on-one, and he makes it 5. What a ball over the top from Harvey Slade, and Shaquille Guenuay with his second of the game, his 28th of the season, and it's Poole Town 5, Plymouth Parkway 0.
He's just he's a man on form, isn't he, Connor? I mean, that just says it all. You know, it's a brilliant through ball, fantastic dink, and Guenuay just takes it down so well. Really hugged the line there. There probably would have been a few calls of offside, but fair play to Guenuay. Took it down so well in his stride. The momentum carried him forward, and he just pulled the trigger. Just watched the keeper and just saw, right, I just need to put it to the side of him. And it's a lovely finish, a really composed, confident finish from a striker who, I think he's destined to be playing in the higher leagues, and we want to be the team that takes him there. And absolutely delighted to see Shaquille get his second goal. It's another brace, Connor, another brace, as I brace myself to do another tweet. Oh, great, and it's lovely to see the graphic going up. Never gets old. I don't think you can really beat the graphic over the top of the Dorchester fans, Connor, but it never gets old.
It's fantastic, isn't it? Poole Town leading by 5 here at Tattenham. A really complete display out there, a 5-star performance, you could say, George.
Couldn't agree more.
And what a ball over the top it was from Harvey Slade too. I don't think that can be understated. No. It was truly fantastic, and Guenuay brought it under so easily and just slotted it past the goalkeeper for his second of the game. Lowe's wins it back. Here's Diaz round the corner looking for Henry Spalding. And it goes back to the Plymouth Parkway defence. Once again, if you are just joining us here, just to repeat myself, it is Poole Town 5, Plymouth Parkway 0. Plymouth Parkway with the ball at the back once again as they look to just wanting to hear that full-time whistle at this stage in the game, in all honesty. There is still over 10 minutes to play here. Set back inside to Taylor Scarf. Guenuay continuing to press. He wants another hat-trick out there today, I tell you what. Isaac Finch launching it forward for the visitors. Good ball out to the right-hand side, just about kept in play. Garside. Taylor Scarf playing it over the top. Owen Dorr gets in front of his man. Billy Lowe's now trying to turn around him. Henry Spalding round the corner onto IK Hill, onto Billy Lowe's now. Poole really looking for blood. This is beautiful football from the Dolphins. Guenuay round the corner. Here's Spalding looking to play it forward. Good defending by Parkway once again. It's elegant out there at the moment. Callum Hall now. We've got 10 minutes to play here at Tattenham as the Dolphins leading by 5. Could potentially be a 6th in this game. George has just sent out the 5th goal tweet. I do apologise for your cold hands having to send out tweets on a day like this.
To be fair, it's not as bad as Park Run this morning, honestly. I thought my left hand was going to fall off. It was so cold.
Owen Dorr there first. Really good defending once again.
Yeah, they've been immaculate at the back, haven't they? You know, obviously I know Parkway haven't offered a huge amount, but they've not had a chance. You know, the whole defence, including obviously Adam Parks, have been rock solid. And now, Owen Dorr is a player of some real quality at this level. You know, you're not going to find many better centre halves. You know, we're really blessed to have obviously him and Corey Jordan, Addy on loan, of course. Jamie Wiskin coming back soon after a bit of game time at Shaftesbury. What a ball that was from Diaz. Hill finds himself through. Lovely pass to the back post. Could it be that trick? It is! Shaquille Guenuay with the hat-trick.
It is beautiful, isn't it? Shaquille Guenuay again. And that is not his first hat-trick so far this season. He knows where the back of the net is. And it is now Poole Town 6, Plymouth Parkway 0. A complete display and a complete hat-trick from Shaquille Guenuay to make it 6 and put this game, well, I say to bed, it was to bed a couple of hours ago in all honesty. But Shaquille Guenuay doing what he does best once again, getting his hat-trick on the score sheets. And it is Poole Town 6, Plymouth Parkway 0. With 10 minutes to go, there could be more goals in this one, George.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to be singing, we want 7, we want 8. Goodness me. Tell you what, I'm going to have to be very careful because there's going to be some chances of some 6-7 memes out of us here. With the
that is true. That is true.
I just realised it as I was about to say it. Oh dear, yeah, incredible stuff. I mean, what a moment of brilliance from Poole again. You know, you can just feel the confidence flowing through this team, and fair play to Hill, who slid the ball towards the back post, and Guenuay. It was no doubt that was going to happen. Yeah, it looks like a substitution for Poole, Connor.
Young Scott Rolls is going to come onto the field as well here. It's always fantastic to see. Only 17, he may be 18 now, but I believe he's only 17 years old, coming on for Poole Town with 10 minutes to go here, Scott Rolls. I mean, wow, what an unbelievable display it has been out there. And Shaquille Guenuay is going to be the one to depart as well.
Yeah.
Another hat-trick for him. I believe that is his 4th of the campaign so far. There's going to be a lot of clubs sniffing around. We'll have to try and maybe underplay his hat-trick today, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, it was mediocre, Connor. You know, anyone could have done it. Anyone could have got that hat-trick.
Poole Town 6, Plymouth Parkway 0. Shaquille Guenuay again as he departs the field of play for Scott Rolls. What a performance. What a day it's been. Weather certainly not impacting. And thank God this game went ahead today. There were doubts of it being a frozen pitch, but the referee gave it the all clear, and it is now Poole Town leading by 6 out there at the moment.
Just magic, isn't it? I mean, and this is the thing. Pat and Joe have had a few times early in the season. They said we need to be rolling over teams. You know, we need to be going out there and winning by 4, 5, or 6 goals. And you know, we've done that against Weymouth. We've now obviously done that already today in terms of scoring 6 goals. And honestly, this Poole Town team, the amount of confidence they've got, they could go out and get a 7th. It would be beautiful, absolutely beautiful stuff. And great to see Scott Rolls getting on the pitch, getting a little bit of game time. Obviously, one of our fantastic young players in the under-23s. a fantastic group of players, the next generation of Dolphins first team players, hopefully. Scott Rolls is a leading example of that. Great to see him getting game experience and time in the first team squad. He'll gain so much from that, regardless of what level he goes on to play when he's older. At his age, this is invaluable. You learn so much just being around first team football and being around men. As a young lad playing at this standard, it's a real honour to play for this club, and I'm sure he'll appreciate every second he gets on this pitch. Parkway now on the ball, passing it around in the defence. In no rush really, as you'd imagine, with the scoreline: Poole Town 6, Plymouth Parkway 0. 84 minutes on the clock now, and Parkway going down the left-hand side, trying to work, and Jockeys is deeper in the midfield for Parkway, looking to just move the ball around, and that ball trying to go through the lines is taken away, and now Billy Lowe's gets IK Hill going, and they've left themselves really exposed, like he does, with real pace and purpose, keeps going, and it's blocked, goes out for a corner, so really stick. And Scott Rolls just watches it out for a corner now on the left-hand side. Poole Town not giving up now. Plymouth Parkway very much having to break down a resolute defence and then hitting them on the counter. And it will be Charlie Davis, who's in no rush to go over to the corner flag and get the ball whipped in. Antonio Diaz just crouching down, maybe a little bit of fatigue. He's worked his socks off today, as we said earlier. One of those players who's worked really hard to get into good areas, to make runs, hasn't necessarily got on the end of some of those attacking moves, but the ball comes in from Diaz, from Davis even, and Diaz was the one trying to flick it on. It goes out again off of a Parkway body for another corner for the Dolphins, and Charlie Davis will look to take it. And it's hilarious how poor the corners have been today for Poole, despite the one that resulted in the goal for Addy. And IK Hill whips it in, and it goes to the back stick. Oh, and it's gone just wide, and it was Chris Campbell, of all people, who of course has been playing at right back and left back, who had a really good chance there. But Poole Town now reset themselves, get back into their shape, and it will be Parkway to take a goal kick. And like I say, you know, the position Poole Town are in, 6 goals up, it's definitely a position that we will relish being in, as Parkway move the ball onto the left-hand side. Henry Spalding looking to try to read the game there, but the ball doesn't go where he thinks it's going to go, and Parkway now moving it from that left-hand side into the middle of the field and working it all the way onto the right-hand side. Poole in no rush really to press now, unlike they did earlier on, and Chris Campbell marshals the right winger for Parkway well, and they go back again, working it onto the right-hand side with Scarf, who once again goes backwards, and it is just a case now of seeing out the last few minutes. No real urgency for Parkway or Poole in a game that is pretty much decided as it goes out, and that just sums up Parkway's day today. A few little passes and then a ball straight out into the touchline.
Well, there's about 3 minutes still to play here. I was just getting the full-time graphic ready to go. I've left space just for a 7th goal, just in case, you never know. Play forward, here's Billy Lowe's, on to Chris Campbell. Can drive forward for the Dolphins, play it down the line. Good defending by the Parkway back line. As Parkway look to cut inside again. Can't be long left to play here. Here's number 3 now, who did come on as a substitute. Trying to read what it says. I think that is Reece Shanley on the team sheet. Oh, Poole Town 6, Plymouth Parkway 0. What a performance it has been from the Dolphins out there today, and it's great to see the likes of Scott Rolls getting some minutes on the pitch. It was a fantastic experience for him. Taylor Scarf. I mentioned at half-time you almost feel sorry for those Parkway players out there today, because I don't think they've really done too much wrong in this game. We have just been the better of the two sides today, and it's as simple as that, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I do think that Poole have just been too good. You know, we were saying this at half-time, weren't we, that Parkway have turned up, and I have to say they've actually been quite surprising, because they haven't just looked to soak it up. I mean, maybe at the start of the game perhaps, but that goal from Saida really unlocked the door just they play a good ball in, and yeah, there you have it. Offside flag goes up for Hull, who's one of the brighter sparks of Parkway. But yeah, I just think it's been one of those games where you would have expected Parkway to really try and soak up the pressure and limit us, and they haven't been great, to be fair. They've really just had a lot of hard work in terms of stopping us from scoring a number of goals. And to our credit, we've had a number of chances, but we've taken a good number of them. And no surprise as the player of the match is announced from our sponsors, and it's Shaquille Guenuay, who of course is our hat-trick hero today, our Shack-trick hero.
Very good, very good. Here is Henry Spalding breaking forward for Poole once again as we look for a 7th here. Out to Charlie Davis now. Davis with the ball to the edge, looking for Henry Spalding. Has found his way through to IK Hill. It's a brilliant stop on the follow-up. And there is the 7th. It's onside. And it's Antonio Diaz to make it 7-0 to Poole. And, well, I'm speechless. Poole Town 7, Plymouth Parkway 0.
Yeah.
What a performance. What a day. You see Dan Wilson giving it a little fist bump into the air there.
Yeah, almost like a... Yeah, I mean, I've got to say, I'm delighted for Diaz, because like we said, he's worked so hard. He's been making so many runs today, shouting his head off for the ball in good attacking opportunities, and nothing's really fallen to him. So for him to pop up and get the rebound, wonderful stuff. Delighted for him. So well done, Diaz, getting that goal there. Just as I try and tweet with my fingers slowly turning to ice. Diaz gets our 7th. And it's not every day that you are here doing commentary, tweeting on a 7-0 scoreline. 2 minutes of added time. Dan Wilson has just put up with the board. I'm going to give this is going to be a very limited tweet from me. It is literally going to be...
I'll try and help you. Best
Diaz gets our 7th.
Trying to get the 7-0 up on the screen over there. Antonio Diaz, that's great to see that he's on the score sheet as well today. A fantastic player, fantastic person too.
Yeah.
And he has made it 7-0 here. I mean, must be the highest score in the Southern League Premier South so far this season, without a doubt. I don't think you could have really asked much more. I don't think anyone was expecting it to be 7-0 today. Parkway coming forward on the attack as this game is very almost done over here. Chance now maybe to go inside the area. Here's Callum Hall from the edge, dinks it over the crossbar, and it goes behind for a goal kick. And that might just be that today.
Just, yeah, crazy stuff. I thought that Weymouth game was remarkable, you know, beating a local rival 6-0, of course. But today, as IK Hill's graphic showed, really has taken the biscuit. It's been wonderful, you know, wonderful to see us playing with such confidence, so positive, and also just like Pat and Joe have said previously, like really going for a team that are there for the taking and not even giving them a sniff in the game. And you know, if we were to concede now in the last couple of minutes, you know, I know for a fact Pat and Joe would be furious, and that just shows the high standards of every player on the pitch and our management team. And I know the coaching staff would feel exactly the same as well. Parkway now with the ball. Scarf plays it back to Brent, who lofts the ball onto the left-hand side, which Poole will regain possession with. Slady just giving the ball away, and Davis desperately battles to win the ball and goes up for a throw-in now for Parkway on the left-hand side. Not long on the clock now. You'd expect probably 30 seconds to a minute of the game. I want to give a shout out as well to the mascots for today's game. It was fantastic to see Poole Town's under-13s girls team. We're very lucky at Poole Town, have an amazing youth setup, and it was great to have them today. But there it is. There's the whistle.
The full-time whistle, and it ends here. Poole Town 7, Plymouth Parkway 0. Do you want to sum that up very quickly as well, George?
There's a lot to sum up, Connor, but you know, it's the performance that Pat and Joe have been asking for all season. It's a situation where a very good, confident Poole Town team have gone out and executed everything they would have hoped to execute today. It was a real combination of everything going right for the Dolphins, you know, tactically set up to really go at them from the off. The intensity was there. Poole didn't let Parkway soak up the pressure for long before a thunderbolt of a strike from Salim Saeed got the Dolphins underway and with their 1-0 lead. And before long, IK Hill putting in a brilliant performance. And it's fair to say IK Hill probably would have been one of the player of the match contenders if it hadn't been for Guenuay, of course, going on to score another hat-trick this season, in a season that has quite frankly frankly been remarkable. And it's been a few years since we saw someone scoring quite as many goals. We're obviously used to having players like Toby Holmes and Rafa Ramos and of course Tony Lee over the seasons who have scored 20 plus goals, but to be only just into 2026 and to see Shaquille Guenuay scoring nearly 30 goals in all competitions is quite remarkable. So yeah, an all-round performance from Poole from front to back, and it's fair to say that we have got so much to be happy about in that performance, and Pat and Joe will be hopefully smiling ear to ear, which isn't the norm for them, but something that we can look forward to. Brilliant, and I'm just going to sign out now as Connor makes his way to film the full-time scenes. I might have to go and join him as well. Thank you so much for tuning in at home, and yeah, we hope that you have had a lovely start to 2026, a fantastic result for the Dolphins, and we'll see you very, very soon. Take care, and up the Dolphins.